The streaming service wars have begun and they're all fighting for your attention. The question is, which one will you crown victor over the streaming service wars? I guess you could call him the streaming service supreme leader, because of all the S's. Anyway, this will be a multiple part series. The idea is to break down all the streaming services that are out there and the ones that are, you know, coming out in the future and decide which one is the best for you so you don't have to throw all your money at Disney+. So let's start with the newest service that just came out and you probably didn't even hear about it unless you're a diehard Apple fan like Ryan. But that's right, Apple TV Plus is out right now. Apple TV Plus was launched on November 1st, 2019 by, well, Apple. And the service costs you $4.99 a month, but if you're a God-fearing American, it costs you $5 because we like to round up in this country. So how does Apple TV Plus look? Well, if you're an Apple TV owner, you'll notice that it's very similar to the existing layout. Looking at this picture, you notice that there's clean-looking tiles, helpful categories, and easy navigation to help you find what you're looking for. Sorry to the audio listeners out there. I personally like the style of the Apple TV because I myself am an owner of an Apple TV. Don't mean to brag about it, but hey, I am. I just like how simplistic it is and just very clean and, you know, well organized. So what exactly is on the Apple TV Plus? Because that's the most important part of these streaming services. What's the content? What's available for you to watch right now? And unfortunately, there's not a lot at the time of this filming. So right now, there's a few Apple TV Plus originals to mention that are kind of interesting. The first one being For All Mankind, which is a show that takes place in an alternative timeline where the Russians were the first to land on the moon. So pretty much it's Man in the High Castle, but in space. Another Apple TV Plus original, or Apple original, is called Dickinson, starring that one chick from Bumblebee. You know, the longer hair, brown hair, anyway.
No, she's hot.
Okay.
She's smoking hot.
The show is about a strong, independent woman who wishes to be a writer in a man's universe. Gosh, with this feminist crap, oh my goodness! Next up we have C. Like C, like I can see you, not like C, senor. Anyway, the show stars Jason Momoa, and the whole plot of the story is everybody's blind in this world, and Aquaman and his wife have kids, and those kids can apparently see, and shenanigans ensue. It looks very, like, well done, like, shot-wise and everything. It just looks very pretty. But the whole show about people not being able to see and, like, they have to fight each other just seems kind of odd. And not to mention, Jason Momoa, too, is taking jobs away from the blind actors out there. Gosh, jerk. And finally, the last Apple original that looks somewhat interesting is called The Morning Show. I'm just kidding. It doesn't look interesting at all. Yeah, this show follows Rachel from Friends and Susan from Monsters vs. Aliens and how they battle it out for presidency? The Olympic team? No! A morning show. Whose idea was it that they should write a show about two women fighting over who hosts a morning show? Stupid. So this list of shows kind of doesn't really draw at least my personal attention. It might draw yours, but if you do, then we need to talk after this. But I mean, literally, the whole list just seems kind of boring and just weird. But I mean, For All Mankind and C sound interesting. It'll be, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Pun not intended, if they in fact are good shows, but yeah, we'll just have to check it out. But these Apple originals just sound like straight garbage. I mean, The Morning Show, The Dickinson Show, there was an elephant one, and it's like a documentary style thing. I don't know. It just sounds like not really my cup of tea. There's been reports that are claiming that Apple invested $6 billion with a B dollars into these shows. Okay, and more specifically for The Morning Show, Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell, you know, they're getting like millions of dollars an episode, allegedly. So that's kind of crazy. But I mean, like, look at the shows, The Morning Show, C, and For All Mankind and Dickinson. They just don't sound interesting. I mean, Apple, if you're watching this, you should hire me and I'll make you an awesome show that's 10 times better than all these shows put together. And I'll only ask for $5 million because I'm cheap. So I think it's fair to say where I personally stand with Apple TV Plus. I mean, for sure, $5 a month, that's a really good deal, and I think that's the lowest one out of all the streaming services that are coming out. But they definitely lack in content. I mean, they don't have that many shows, and all of the shows that they do have just don't seem that interesting, at least to me personally. So I think Apple needs to go back to the drawing board, give me an email, SimoneJProductions@gmail.com, and hire me for $5 million, by the way. That's cheaper than what you're paying, what's-his-face? So you should definitely hire me, and then you should also, you know, look at your current money situation and the directors, producers, all that kind of stuff, and make sure that the money's actually going to good content rather than these boring, uninteresting content like the morning show. And if Apple can't do that, then they're going to continue to make these below average quality content. And that's putting it nicely. And speaking of below average quality content, the JoshPod. Thanks for watching the JoshPod. Be sure to like and subscribe and tell your friends about us. If you're an audio listener, give us a rate on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys next time here on the JoshPod.